Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so as we move into the later half of December, there is a big choice coming up that a lot of global players are going to have to make when it comes to deciding which banners you're going to summon on, where you are going to invest those stones. So obviously with this kind of video, kind of like when I do the should you summon or skip sort of videos for specific banners, I always try and give a bit of a disclaimer at the beginning of those videos that obviously this is my opinion on what is best for you guys to do if you are obviously either low on stones, maybe you're free to play, you're somebody who doesn't spend a lot of money. Obviously if you're somebody who is a massive whale, or if there's a character coming that you want specifically, that's obviously going to massively influence your decision. If you're a whale, you probably summon on every banner anyway, even if it's only a little bit. Whereas if you have to be more careful with your stones, then obviously you have to be very specific when you choose where you're going to spend them. And we have 3 big banners coming up between now and the end of the year. So first off, we obviously got the news the other day on Twitter and Facebook straight from the global accounts that we are getting LR, God, Goku and Hit coming to global, and it is going to be a double rates banner. So basically this is the equivalent of the Tech LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan that we got last year. Now obviously that unit came out at the same time on both versions, so there was a lot of speculation up to this point as to what was actually going to be released on global. And of course we got the Hit EZA, which comes somewhat out of order. Should have got the physical Kefla and the free-to-play Universe 6 Saiyans alongside the Dokkan Fest Kale and Caulifla, but they moved up the Tech Hit, and on JP, Tech Hit and this LR came out roughly around the same time. It was like the second part of the Kale and Caulifla celebration. So it remains to be seen whether they've just kind of switched those and we are going to get the physical Kefla and the free-to-play units EZA in the later part of this month. We still don't actually know that yet, but we know that this banner is coming out. So LR, God, Goku and Hit, I'll go into more detail analysis of them in a different video, but they are a very, very powerful unit. Those of you who do watch Truth's videos or keep up to date with the things that he posts, he obviously often re-showcases a unit when they're about to come out on global. And I had a quick look at another video showcase of these guys today, and they are pretty crazy. They are definitely one of the top tier LRs in the game. I'm still not really sold on their animations. I talked about it a little bit when they first came out. They're not bad. I just don't think they are in the top tier. But the unit itself is very, very good. And obviously they're releasing alongside the Tech Hit EZA because they're kind of designed to be run with him. Obviously they're on most of the teams that he's on. They have pretty much the exact same link set, except for the fact that they also have legendary power. So they have a lot of room to maneuver on a Universe Survival Saga team where there's a whole bunch of LRs that you could run in order for them to pick up that link and then obviously run them with Hit. Hit, we've talked about in some of the recent videos, is not an ideal slot 1 unit. These guys are better in slot 2 or 3, but they can work quite effectively in slot 1. They get a pretty solid start of turn defense, but then of course they do gain a pretty significant amount of defense when attacking as the first or second attacker in the turn, as well as the fact that they raise attack and defense on their supers, the normal raise on 12 key and greatly raise on the 18 key. So obviously they are better defensively after they attack, but I was seeing obviously this is the Rainbow Showcase from Truth, but we're seeing close to 225 if not 250k defense at the start of the turn. So they can be a viable option for slot 1, and then you run Hit in slot 2. Or on the Universe Survival Saga team, it gives you the option to run units like the AGL or STR UI Goku, who are very strong slot 1 units, have this LR in slot 2, and then have Hit in slot 3, and then all of their links will be activated. So they are very, very powerful. Even if this was just coming as a normal legendary summon banner, I definitely would be tempted, but obviously for most people, legendary summon banners are kind of a skip unless you are someone who spends a little bit on the game. Or obviously, if this is like a fan favorite character for you, I know a lot of people wanted this LR before it was actually announced. So they are a Universe Survival Saga leader and accelerated battle, which is an interesting new category. Again, we'll go into all of this in more detail in a separate video for them, because this is more specifically about the different banners and the choices between them, rather than going into a deep dive on the unit. But safe to say that the LR is a unit that is definitely going to be fun to use, very powerful. Will be very good in all the different content in the game, so I'm very much looking forward to trying to get my hands on a copy of them. So this is what the banner looked like on JP. It's unlikely to change, I wouldn't have thought, and obviously, like any legendary summon banner, there's quite a few units on here that are not great. But now that we're really into this swing of like more and more units getting easy A's, the future for some of these units is pretty good. Like the blue Gokus have obviously got their easy A's. They're not too crazy. The AGL one obviously good on a Realm of Gods team. But this is the Goku that awakens into the Tech God Goku. I would imagine an easy A for him and the God Vegeta will be incoming as soon as we get any other celebration that's related to the Broly movie. Physical Kefla obviously is going to be getting her easy A, so if you need extra copies of her, it's good to get those before she easy A's. AGL Caulifla is still useful on the Universe 6 team. And then, of course, Tech Caulifla and STR Kale are both very, very good. Future easy A's for them would obviously make them even better. Physical Kale is decent. And then we've got units like Champa, who's pretty middle of the road now, but, you know, will get an easy A in the future. Same with Vados, same with Frost. Frost was never really that great even when he first came out, to be honest, but he definitely could be massively improved by an easy A. So this banner doesn't necessarily have immediate value for some of the units, aside from obviously the fact that the Kefla Easy A is right around the corner, and I don't imagine it'll be too long before we see the celebration where God Goku Easy A's. And then of course it is a legendary summon banner, so all of the LRs that are released so far will be in here. So if we have a look at the Gohan banner from last year, because this will be the equivalent of the banner this year, so you have the featured units, you have all the other LRs, and then of course every multi-summon we got a Santa, well this is Gohan obviously, I was going to say a Santa Roshi, but technically a Santa Gohan. There was a Santa Goku the previous year. Be interesting to see who they do this year, but basically a free Elder Kai with every multi-summon, so that is obviously added value as well. The only downside to this banner compared to a normal legendary summon banner is that you do get blue coins instead of yellow. And since the 50% support banners have not come back in well over a year at this point, and we just saw the Heroes banner come back, and they didn't add any like Heroes options with the blue coins. Blue coins are relatively useless, aside from obviously you can buy Kais with them. But at some point, hopefully, those type support banners will return, and you'll be able to use these blue coins to pick up copies of those units. But that is obviously something that remains to be seen. So there's definitely a lot of value in this banner. I pulled up a tweet from last year. I'd done a solo video, and then I did a collab with Goresh, and basically in 900 stones I pulled 10 LRs. Like I say here, this is an average of slightly over 1 LR every other multi. Now obviously, if you do decide to go in on this banner, you're not necessarily going to get the same kind of luck. I might not get the same kind of luck this time around, but a double rates banner obviously has a huge draw, because yeah, double rates, I mean there's LRs aplenty if you're actually able to get good luck. So the double rates banner is a very, very attractive option. Obviously, I know a lot of people are super excited about it. But next up, what we have to consider is, of course, the New Year Step Up banner. So this will be coming towards the end of the year and into the new year. It's going to change, of course. We don't know exactly how, because last year saw a bit of a change with Step 1 was originally just like the old red stone easy A units, and then they changed it so that Step 1 was a super or extreme class leader, basically one of the 120 leaders or physical Vegeta Blue and AGL Rose. Then the next step was a super or extreme class leader, but they're all category leaders. This is going to be interesting, because whilst I do think this will change, like a lot of the 120 leaders with their easy A's are obviously still very viable on teams. Physical Vegeta Blue and Rose still have their uses as well. And then of course once we move into this step, like these are all units that are going to be getting easy A's over the next like year or so. I imagine the Vegito Blue and the Rosé one are probably not that far away. And then as we're seeing now with some of these celebrations, I mean, UI has his already, if the unit fits the theme, it's very possible that they will get an Easy A regardless of their release order. So this step is going to be potentially a whole lot of extra value. Same with this one, another super class or extreme category leader. Then we had step 4 is also a super or extreme class category leader. So all of these guys are either have Easy A's already or are going to be getting Easy A's at some point in the next year. So there is a lot of value here. And then, of course, the last step is a guaranteed LR. The LRs that will be available are, of course, going to change and be updated. I'm not entirely sure. There's a way to work it out, I'm sure, going by the release dates. But we're not going into that exactly. We'll know more about the banner when it's soon to come out. Hopefully we won't have an error like last year. Obviously, it worked out well for people who did summon, of course, because all the stones were refunded. But it was a bit of a kerfuffle. Definitely not something that we would like to see happen again. But this banner is kind of a... I don't know the right word for it, but it's like 50-50 between the different members of the community. Because for some people, this is one of the only like must summon banners of the year. Because obviously each step gives you guaranteed value. You get a guaranteed LR at the end. People who don't usually summon on legendary summon banners, this is obviously your chance to get a guaranteed LR. The problem is, of course, that once you reach a certain point, we're moving into the sort of the hashtag whale problems part of... life here, where if you're somebody like me, apart from a couple of the LRs, like every single unit that's shown here, I have rainbowed already and do not need extra copies of, apart from some of the LRs, like I say. So for me, doing all of the steps just to get to the last one and then potentially pull one of the LRs that I actually do already have rainbowed is obviously not good value for me. So when it comes to the step ups, this is going to differ massively based on your own account. So unfortunately, when it comes to this one, it's kind of hard to advise. Like, if your account doesn't really need copies of a lot of these units, then there really isn't actually a lot of value. Like, even if you had all of these units rainbow, but you're missing most of the LRs, it means the first few steps don't really hold a lot of value for you. So this one comes down entirely based on your box and the units that you still need. And then the last thing that we have to take into account, this was the one from last year, is of course Global's version of the Tanabata Festival banner is the like Merry Christmas Dokkan Festival. This is the return of the anniversary LRs, so this is the JP version, and obviously it has Tech Gogeta. Now, this is going to be an interesting one for Global because Tech Gogeta released earlier than scheduled. So on JP, Tech Gogeta came out in December, and then this banner came out later in December. So there were 2 banners active that had Tech Gogeta on them. Whereas on Global, Tech Gogeta's banner has come and gone. So there is some speculation, like we don't actually know. Because Tech Gogeta technically is now returning on a banner, he might be available for red coins in the shop. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make him available, because the original like way this normally works is that both banners are out at the same time, so he wouldn't be available. But of course they made the decision to release the banner early, so by the general framework of how these things work, he should be available with red coins. But I could definitely see the possibility that he won't be, and then of course everyone on Twitter will be crying about Global Shaft. But it definitely would be cool if he is, because I'm someone who always says that red coins should be saved for Dokkan Fest LRs. And if he's available, it means him, AGL UI Goku, and Int Blue Evolution Vegeta are all going to be available with red coins for the first time when this banner comes out, which is super, super good. Now, obviously, when Dokkan gets, like, when Global gets the Christmas version of this banner, we get a bunch of tickets. We also get a premium ticket that you can buy, so that will be factored in as well. Obviously, if you're someone who spends on the game, these sorts of things are usually worth buying. I remember when the 4-year version of this came out, I hadn't pulled LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku in like 2,000 stones during the anniversary, and then I bought the premium ticket, which was guaranteed featured, and I pulled AGL UI Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So obviously this time around, that ticket pool could be an AGL UI Goku, it could be Tech Gogeta. So if you're somebody who spends, the tickets are probably a pretty much guaranteed purchase. But the one thing you have to think about when it comes to actually summoning on this banner is look at all of these featured units. Like, it has a ton of these older category and 120 leads. And as we said earlier, some of these are going to get EZAs over the next year or so, but some of them already have them and are already units that you potentially don't really want to be pulling. So this is a very risky banner to summon on. This is the perfect kind of banner that drops for people that have a bunch of red coins saved up, because there's a lot of really good units on here, including the returning anniversary LRs that you can pick up with red coins, but actually dropping stones to summon on it is quite risky and is probably not something that I would advise. So that means there are 3 big banners coming to Global in December. We've got the Tanabata, what will obviously be renamed as the Merry Christmas Dokkan Festival. We have the LR, Goku and Hit banner. And then, of course, we have the step-ups. So all of these vary based on your account and what units you need. Honestly, it's really, really hard to pass up summoning on this when it's double rates with 3 Kais, like all these LRs. Goku and Hit are like a top LR in the game. I don't like to rate units before I've used them. I say this all the time, but they are probably like a top 10 LR in the game, including ones that have EZAs, which is pretty crazy. They're probably even better than that. I don't know. I know some people will say they're top 5, maybe even top 3, but saying top 10 is probably easily a safe bet. So it's going to be very difficult to decide where you're going to spend your stones. So you guys let me know down below in the comment section, where are you planning to spend your stones? Are you free to play and it's a tough decision, or are you a whale and you're going to go in? I know I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of summons on the double rates banner. And then when it comes to the Tanabata, I'll probably pick up the tickets. Maybe I won't go any further than that, and then for me the step-ups are probably a skip. So let me know what your plans are down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.